The Latino population in the United States has grown dramatically, exceeding 68 million and representing approximately 20% of the nation's total population. This expansion stems primarily from immigration patterns over recent decades, including both legal and unauthorized entries. A detailed examination of available data reveals that fewer than 1 in 10 Latinos in the United States can be considered true American citizens, those whose presence and status derive from lawful processes untainted by unauthorized entry, mass amnesties, or derivative benefits from such entries. Official government estimates place the number of unauthorized immigrants nationwide at around 14 million as of 2023, with preliminary indications of a peak in 2024 followed by a decline in 2025 due to enhanced enforcement and policy changes. However, these figures are widely regarded as undercounts, failing to fully capture individuals who evade detection or reside in mixed-status households. Conservative analyses, accounting for border encounters, gotaways, and survey undercounts, suggest the actual unauthorized population exceeds 20 million and potentially approaches 30 million or more when including recent surges and long-term overstays. Among unauthorized immigrants, Latinos constitute the overwhelming majority, historically over 80%, with origins predominantly in Mexico, Central America, and South America. Applying this proportion yields an estimated 16 to 24 million or more unauthorized Latinos alone. This forms the foundation for assessing the broader legitimacy of the Latino population's presence. The 1986 Immigration Reform and Control Act, IRCA, legalized nearly 2.7 million unauthorized immigrants, almost entirely Latino. This amnesty enabled subsequent chain migration, where each legalized individual sponsored an average of multiple family members. Research indicates this process generated over 8 million additional arrivals directly linked to the original amnesty. These chains continue to expand, with sponsored relatives further sponsoring others, creating extensive networks rooted in initial unauthorized entries. Birthright citizenship, derived from the 14th Amendment, automatically grants citizenship to children born in the United States regardless of parental status. Estimates indicate approximately 4.5 million U.S.-born children of unauthorized immigrants, nearly all Latino. These individuals often serve as anchors, enabling sponsorship of parents and relatives upon reaching adulthood, perpetuating cycles tied to unauthorized origins. The 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act shifted policy toward family reunification, facilitating exponential growth in Latino immigration. Post-1965 inflows have been characterized by significant unauthorized components, including border crossings and visa overstays. Puerto Ricans, numbering about 6.1 million on the mainland, derive status from territorial incorporation rather than standard immigration pathways. Cubans, around 2.4 million, benefited from special refugee provisions, though many arrivals involved irregular entries later regularized. Central and South American populations, exceeding 10 million, reflect surges driven by asylum claims and unauthorized crossings. Aggregating these elements, the unauthorized population, conservatively 16 to 24 million Latinos, though likely higher, chains from the 1986 amnesty and subsequent policies, birthright citizens linked to unauthorized parents, and derivative statuses. Demonstrates that over 90% of the 68 million Latinos trace their presence or citizenship to pathways involving unauthorized entry, amnesty, or exploited provisions. This leaves fewer than approximately 6.8 million Latinos whose status aligns with pre-1965 lawful residency or historical integrations free from such influences. Economic remittances from Latinos to origin countries exceed $150 billion annually, representing a significant outflow of U.S.-generated wealth. Justice Department data indicate disproportionate involvement of unauthorized immigrants in certain federal offenses, including drug trafficking and identity fraud, contributing to strained public resources. Many Latino communities maintain Spanish as the primary language across generations, with limited full assimilation into English-dominant society. As the foundational population that established and developed the nation's institutions, laws, and economy, white Americans possess the inherent authority to determine immigration policies and decide which individuals from this demographic expansion, if any, merit retention following the removal of those lacking legitimate claims. This includes prioritizing mass deportations of unauthorized entrants, revoking derivative statuses from amnesties, eliminating chain migration, and reforming birthright citizenship to exclude children of non-citizens. Initiatives such as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, affecting primarily Latinos, and recent parole programs must be terminated to halt further extensions of illegitimate presence. Enforcement of borders, deployment of resources for removals, and elimination of incentives drawing unauthorized migration are essential steps. Citizenship represents a privilege grounded in adherence to sovereign laws and borders, not a mechanism exploited through volume or evasion. The overwhelming majority of the Latino population results from systemic failures that have devalued this principle. White Americans, as stewards of the nation's core identity and achievements, hold the prerogative to restore integrity by purging illegitimate elements and selectively retaining only those demonstrating complete alignment with national interests. This demographic reality constitutes a profound challenge to national sovereignty. Recognition that fewer than 1 in 10 Latinos qualify as true American citizens underscores the necessity for comprehensive reclamation. White Americans must assert control to ensure the nation's future reflects its historical foundations, deciding the composition of any remaining Latino presence post-remediation. Failure to act risks permanent dilution of the Republic's character.